salakaya chaksurunmilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Todalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadavaktaya Namo Namah. Yang Pravarjantam Manupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahaka Taruva Juhava Putreti Tanmayataya Taravo Banedos Tang Sarva Puta Hridayam Muni Manatosmi Bhaktya Vinay Aparada Lakshay Chiptasya Kamadi Tarangamadye Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapadyam Brinde Namaste Charanarvindam Tavoivasmi Na Jivami Tambina Divigyaya Radhe Tam Nayamam Charanantike. First I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj and Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. To our grandfather gurus, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj and Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, to his divine associates, and to all the assembled devotees and the assembled devotees, Diksha Gurus, who are my Shiksha Gurus, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Madhav Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Ban Maharaj, and Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. And we're so fortunate to be in Antardvip Mayapur now. We're so lucky. And you're all doing very well. I mean, you took the rocket instead of the regular airplane. You arrived in only 8 or so hours. But then you were jet-lagged because you're on Miami zonal time. And still, the next morning you went right on with bare feet. You went right on Parikrama to be with Nityananda Prabhu and Jiva Goswami, who took us to, first they took us to Sachi Mata's house, where Jiva Goswami and Nityananda Prabhu fell at Sachi Mata's feet. And she said to Nityananda, "Oh, my son, you finally came home. Now please sit and take prasadam." I secretly offered this to Gauranga, and now if you also accept it, then I'll feel successful. So Jiva Goswami, he was like totally overwhelmed to see her, and he fell at her feet and rolled on the floor, became unconscious. And then Nityananda Prabhu was lovingly served the prasadam by Bangsi Bharananda, who offered it, and then Ishan Thakur, the other servant of Sachimata, he served it out. And who cooked it? Vishnu Priya Devi. Vegetables and rice and so many other dishes. And then they asked permission to leave. Nityananda Prabhu asked for permission to leave so that they could continue on their parikrama. And, there's a series of fainting and weeping and rolling and grasping the lotus feet. So within all that, they went to several places. You remember we went with them to Nagariya Ghat, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teased the girls, and he teased the Brahmins by taking the Ganges water in his mouth and spraying them when they're supposed to be clean. They didn't realize that they're becoming supremely clean by having the water, the Ganges water, coming from the mouth of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Usually it comes from if it's not coming from the Saki in Goloka Vrindavan, then it's coming from the feet of Vamandev. But this is so much more auspicious when it comes from the mouth of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Sarvesvara himself. So they were upset. They rebuked him. The girls were upset. Some of them were happy because he promised them such good husbands. And some of them rebuked him. And because he started grabbing things, the banana with the sweets, as though it was his. So both groups went to complain to Jagannath Mishra, but as you heard yesterday from Srila Gurudev, Mahaprabhu figured out how to make it look like he never went into the Ganges, and he went straight home after school. And then we went to Parikrama Ghat, where Mahaprabhu defeated that wandering Digvijay, Keshava Kashmir, and royally defeated him, and then that wandering scholar surrendered to Mahaprabhu by the grace of Saraswati Devi and became a good devotee. We also went to what ghat? We went to Ganga Nagara, which is the village of Gangadas Pandit, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the school of Gangadas Pandit, and his brother learned from Advaita Acharya some years earlier, and by that he became renounced because Advaita Acharya was teaching what? Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, other scriptures, and so he realized what's the use of this fatal, what's the other word if you have a chronic disease, if you're going to die from it? Terminal. It's terminal here. So he left and took sannyas, and then Mahaprabhu consoled his mother because his father had also already left. So she was thinking all she had left was Nimai. And she was angry at Advaita for making her son Visvarup so renounced. Who was Visvarup? The plenary expansion of Nityananda Prabhu. So all of these pastimes are very beautifully described with illustrations in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Where else did we go? Jagai and Madai Ghat. We just kind of ran past there. You already know what happened there. You know about Jagai and Madai. And you know that in the end, they became great devotees. And if you hear, maybe you can play that today at breakfast. It's hard to adjust, like we're going to have breakfast, like this totally new schedule. But anyway, you'll find if you play that, we played it in Los Angeles when we had the Gaudiya girls, remember, Vasanti? That they were so much lamenting, they just couldn't get over how sinful they were. Weeping, and they built Jagai Madai Ghat, and they would clean it every day for the pilgrims. And where else did we go? We just arrived at Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Samadhi Mandir, and the Sri Chaitanya Mat, which is the original Gaudiya Mat. And from there, so many other branches came. Well, we also went to Sri Chandrasekhar Bhavan, where Chandrasekhar Acharya, also known as Acharya Ratna, which means the jewel of acharyas, of greatly learned teachers. And where the first drama was, first drama in Bengal was performed there, and Mahaprabhu played Rukmini. We very briefly went to the house of Jagadananda Pandit, Swarup Damodar, and we fell at their lotus feet. Advaita Bhavan, as also Gadadhar, Angan, courtyard, his courtyard. And especially, we went to Shiva Sangam. The very first print of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan, we have it up above the door, takes place in the courtyard of Shivas. And Prabhupada told me to make a big copy of that for the very first ISKCON temple, and then so many other paintings by so many artists came to be from that original one.
The black and white checkered floor there?
I'm not sure. I think it's a black and white checkered floor. Yeah.
Really cool.
So now we're just approaching. Welcome. We're just approaching Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's very first original mat, and we are part of the. Yes, that's exactly it. It's almost black and white checkered, but this is it, if you can show everybody. Prabhupada gave me that print, as well as the print of Panchatattva, and told me to paint both of them. The original painting? Mine or the Indian one? No, that's the Indian one. Let me see. That's definitely the Indian one that Prabhupada gave me. Okay, so now we have reached Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Sri Chaitanya Mat, where we're now approaching his Samadhi Mandir, full of flowers, and it looks like this. So now we can roll in the dust here, take the dust from his lotus feet on our head, eyelids, heart, and tongue. And Srila Gurudev tells something little bit about his life. And when we were in Los Angeles, Vasanti was there with Gurudev. He said, somebody asked me, where is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur now? And that was a question that's the first time I got that question. And so I gave an answer that I didn't give before, which is, He's in every atom. He's everywhere. And then we learned later from Srila Gurudev that all of our acharyas are everywhere, in every atom, wherever we look. That's why we can pray to them, because even though it appears that they disappeared, they didn't. They're right there, ready to give mercy. So the answer that he gave about Srila Prabhupada was that he will lead us forever from his samadhi. So on one hand, he's in his samadhi, mandir, and on the other hand, he's everywhere. So we're very lucky to be here. Srila Gurudev tells something of his life, how he appeared in 1874. That was my Jack's. It's a private joke. And his name was, his parents named him Bimal Prasad. Bimala is like the embodiment of all the 16,000 queens. And Prasad means the mercy. So because Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur prayed for a ray of Vishnu to come and assist him in his mission, so his son became the mercy of Bimala Devi. Because why? Because they were in Jagannath Puri. You know his father's name, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. His mother's name was Bhagavati. And when he was 6 months old, it was time for his grain ceremony. So, I forgot to mention that at his birth, he had all the signs of a brahmana without getting his brahminical initiation, because he was only newborn, so how could he? So he had the sacred thread, he had the neck beads, all the signs of the brahmana already there. So anyway, when he was 6 months old, his father wanted to take him up onto Jagannath's cart, because the cart, you know how it stops sometimes? It stopped during the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And even though so many elephants tried to push it, chariots, still it didn't move. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu moved it with his head, just touched it and it ran. That's because he is Radharani, who with the other gopis are taking Krishna back to Vrindavan, and that's what's happening at the Rath Yatra festival. Krishna is going from Dwarka back to Vrindavan, which is represented by the Gundicha temple from the Jagannath temple. And some people think that Jagannath Puri is Vrindavan, because, say, Vrindavan is there, Gundicha representing. But Gurudev said it's just representing. And the flower bushes on the two sides of the road represented Vrindavan. But it's not Vrindavan. It's Dwarka. Only Navadvip is Albina Vrindavan. But anyway, so he wanted to take the baby. He took the opportunity for the cart stopping there and not moving. Where? In front of his house. So he took the baby up, and then he offered Jagannath's sweet rice to the 6-month-old baby, and a garland fell from Jagannath's body, his chest. Now here it says, that when, because we heard that he initiated his son into the, which mantra? The Kurma, the turtle mantra. And I asked Sripad Maharaj, I don't know if I told you, that because you were all asking, why did he initiated him into the Kurma mantra, the turtle mantra. So Maharaj said, he's not an ordinary turtle. He's Vishnu himself. And when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was constructing his house, Bhaktivinoda Bhavan in Kolkata, he found that deity. So he thought it was auspicious, and then he initiated his son into that mantra. But here it says that he also initiated him into the Nrsimha mantra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the house of Srivas showed his Nrsimha, revealed himself as Lord Nrsimha. That was when he was about 8 or 9. First, when he was little, he got the Nrsimha one, and then he got the Kurma one when he was about 8 or 9. And then seeing his scholastic brilliance, the academic assembly there in Puri awarded him the title Saraswati, Siddhanta Saraswati. Siddhanta means philosophical conclusions. And Saraswati means, of course, knowing all tattvas. Then he received regular initiation from Gorkashore Das Babaji Maharaj. And then he took sannyas because Gorkashore Das Babaji Maharaj had already left the vision of the world. So he took sannyas from a picture. And then the Sahajiya Babajis criticized him and said, that's not possible. It's unauthorized. And so Srila Gurudev gave so many examples. This is in the book, what book is that? 5 Essays, Defeating the Sahajiya Babajis. And he gave so much evidence that Ramanujacharya also took sannyas from his guru after he'd already left his body. And it was in 1918 that he took Tridandi sannyas. And then in that year, at the time that's approaching now, Gaur Purnima, that's when he established his Sri Chaitanya Math. And let's see what's there. Here are the deities of Guru Gauranga, Gandharvika, Giridhari. And there's also the Samadhi of Srila Gorkashore Das Babaji Maharaj. And we are, at each place, we are rolling in their dust and weeping. Is everybody weeping? Falling unconscious and now getting conscious again. And we are putting the dust on our head so we can think better, eyelids so we can see better, our tongue so we can fill our body with that purity, and our hearts. And as mentioned a few days ago, Gorkashore Das Babaji Maharaj wrote that kirtan that you all sang, Kotai Gaur Prema Mayi Radhi Radhi, which Gurudev said was the Maha 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 mantra. And Gurudev would cry when he would sing that. And first he was in Vrindavan, and then he decided better to go to Navadvip. But he was getting all these people coming to him and wanting material benedictions, asking for material blessings. Like there was one young man with him, but then all of a sudden he left. Then he came back at a much later date with his new wife. And he said, please bless our marriage, Gurudev. So he said, all right, I bless your marriage that you should serve your wife, because you just told me she's a Krishna Dasi. So if she's a Krishna Dasi, then you're her servant. You can cook for her, offer your obeisances to her. Immediately they just left. And another so-called disciple came to him and said, please give me your blessings. He said, you want my blessings? Okay. Then he offered him one of his loincloths. He said, here's my blessings, don't go back home. He immediately left. So he was getting tired of this. So he decided that the stench of the people asking for terminal material blessings was worse than the stench of the municipal latrine. And so that's where he moved in. And he wouldn't open the door for anybody, not even government officials, who wanted to give him a better place. But he did open the door for who? Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj. First he wouldn't open the door, but when he said, I'm an object of the mercy of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, so he opened the door, excitedly gave him blessings, and then Param Gurudev said, it's because of his blessings that I'm preaching everywhere without any obstacles. Then what else is there is Radhakund and Shamakund. And Srila Prabhupada himself established these two kunds there. They're actually Radhakund and Shamakund because they were established by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He actually manifested these kunds, which is right next to Chandrasekhar Bhavan. And again, we have such mercy from Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who repeatedly in the book Navadvip Dhama Mahatmya said, and this building is 6 meters from this place, and this is 20 meters from that place. So by his mercy we know where everything is. He really, established the land of Mahaprabhu for us. You just saw Radhakund, and now here's Shamakund. We're bowing down here, rolling in the dust, fainting, coming back to consciousness, weeping. Now we're taking Achman here, taking 3 drops of the divine water here. We're jumping in, swimming around. Huh? No? You can't? Huh? Why? What? You're not allowed? Not allowed? Say something. Okay, well, we're swimming. In the background, we see Srila Saraswati Thakur's Samadhi Mandir, which we visited earlier. Yes, right next door, here, within the courtyard, right by Radhakund and Shamakund. This is the jackfruit tree under which Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, our Param Gurudev Srila Vinod Brahmachari, Vinod Bihari Brahmachari used to sit with his legs up on the table and shaking his legs, and he would sit in a very relaxed way. And so many sannyasis would come. He wasn't sannyasi, he was Vinod Bihari Brahmachari, wearing white. But so many red cloth sannyasis, senior sannyasis, would come to him, offer obeisances, ask a question. He would give the answer. Then they'd offer obeisances again. and leave. So it was Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj who told this about the jackfruit tree to Srila Gurudev, because he witnessed it. When he first came, he said, "Who is that person?" Sorry. That's why I don't sing, is burst out coughing and screeching and stuff. Huh? Dam dust. Right. So he asked, "Who is that person?" They said, "Oh, he's the one who got our temple space for us. Like previously, Mayapur was not called Mayapur. It was called Miyapur. And it was owned by the Muslims had taken over. And they had a graveyard exactly where the temple was supposed to be. You know, that feud is still going on today in India. And finally they got the Ram temple. But it was, like setting fire to temples, breaking down temples. So Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, what's he going to do with that graveyard? In one night, he took out all the graveyards, threw them here and there in any river, and planted trees and bushes full of fruits and flowers. And then the next morning, when the Muslims saw all this, they went to the police and complained. And the police looked around and said, "There's no way that these trees could have grown in one night, or these flower bushes." So he dismissed the case, dismissed the complaint. Also, so we're offering obeisances there. And we are on our way to Prithu Kund. There was a king named Prithu Maharaj back a long, long time ago. This pond here, which we're going to do Achman, it's not even there anymore, is called Prithu Kund. He was, in Satya Yuga, this place was made. He's the empowered incarnation, and he flattened out all these hilly areas so that the earth could produce vegetables and fruits, and jewels in abundance, because before it was all hilly. So when he became the king, the citizens prayed to him, and he made everything adjusted. And then in his meditation, he saw Sridham Mayapur, Navadvip. In the coming Kali Yuga, Brajendra Nandan Shyamasundar himself would appear at this very place as Sri Gaurahari. See, he arrived at this place, he was already leveling everything. And now he came to this place to level this place. But then when he saw a powerful effulgent light emanating in all directions, he entered meditation to understand this mysterious event. So in his meditation, he saw that this is Sridham Mayapur, and that Krishna himself would be because this is way back, would be appearing in Kali Yuga as Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu to disseminate the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra and give Braj Prem.
Did you say Prithu Maharaj?
Yes, Prithu Maharaj. And Satya Yuga.
Wow, this is a long, long time.
Huh?
Long time.
It's a long time ago, like millions.
Millions.
Huh?
Which yuga?
Satya Yuga, that's millions and millions of years ago. Each yuga is twice as long in duration, in years, than the previous yuga. So how long is this yuga? Huh? 432,000 years. And if you twice that, that's Dwarpa Yuga. If you twice that, that's Treta Yuga. And if you twice that, that's Satya Yuga. And not only that, but because he was an empowered incarnation, he received the darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at that time.
And his wife,
Huh?
his wife's name, Prithu, was it
Archie.
Archie? Yes.
And Mahaprabhu ordered him at that time to keep the glories of this place hidden for the time being. He also told him to construct a beautiful temple here, which later became known as Prithu Kund, and the remnants of that Kund is still here. And it was very renowned for its purity and its sweetness. We're not used to ponds tasting sweet. Later, in this very same place, the new king was Lakshman Sen. He was the king at the time of Jayadeva Goswami, which was also before Mahaprabhu's advent. He enlarged and deepened the pond and named it Balal Dighi after his father. And that the ruins of that place, Lakshmi Saint, are still here. And it's behind Chand Kazi's samadhi. Soon we'll hear about Chand Kazi. Then, did we offer obeisances and roll here and weep and fall unconscious? Then we're going right to Murari Gupta's residence. And this is the deities of Murari Gupta and the house of Murari Gupta. Murari Gupta, as you know, is Hanuman. That's why near his deities of Radha and Krishna, also on the altar, is Hanuman himself. Mahaprabhu tried to, not really tried, but pretended to try to convert him to the worship of Radha and Krishna. But what happened was, he agreed. But then the next morning he said, I could not sleep at night. I decided to commit suicide. In fact, he did have the knife, but Mahaprabhu went to his house. And he said, I want that knife. Because I want to follow your order. At the same time, I cannot give up the feet of my Ram. And so Mahaprabhu was very happy and embraced him. And he said, I was just testing you. You are the pure devotee of Ram. And he's the unparalleled servant. There's so many pastimes of Hanuman. We're not going to discuss them now. There's so many pastimes. Huh? Yeah, pastimes with Sita, pastimes in Lanka, pastimes in helping Ram get back Sita, pastimes back in Ayodhya. So do we all bow down and roll in the dust here? And then we're running because time is short. We're running to Ishodhyan. This is Nandan Acharya's residence. It was in Ishodhyan that Nityananda and Mahaprabhu met for the first time. Because Nityananda Prabhu was, as with the mood of Balaram, he was feeling separation from Krishna. And he was looking everywhere. Oh, Kanaya, where are you? Where are you? And so then one of the residents there in Vrindavan told him that your Kanaya is now living in Navadvip as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So he immediately went there and said, I'm going to hide somewhere. And if my Mahaprabhu, my Kanaya, is really here, he will find me. So he went to the house of Nandanacharya in Ishodhyan. And Nandanacharya was living there and performing bhajan there. Yeah, if he really appeared as Gauranga, he'll find me. So Gauranga knew that he was there. So he sent out his associates to search everywhere. They came back empty-handed. So he himself went, and he immediately knew where his older brother was. And then they fainted when they saw each other, embraced, wept. And from then on, Nityananda Prabhu became Mahaprabhu's main assistant associate. Isha means what? The Lord of Lords. Isha. Isho Dhyan. Isho Dhyan. The garden of the two lords where they met. Now we're just going to really run now, because we're going to be going to the different present-day Gaudiya Mats. So at Ishodhyan itself, we see the Gaudiya Mat. Let's just very quickly bow down here. Take the dust on our head, heart, eyelids, and tongue. This is Srila Prabhupada's temple. Then there's also the yoga pit, where Mahaprabhu was born. All these Gaudiya Math temples are so pretty. You know, they're painted pink and yellow and green. I'll show you some really, really gorgeous ones. Well, Gurudev will show you. And this is the temple established by Srila Bhakti Vilas Tirtham Goswami Maharaj. We're offering our obeisances here. Then we come to our Prabhupada's temple in Mayapur. Sri Chandra, how do you say it? Chandra Doya, Chaitanya Chandra Doya Mandir. And what you're seeing there is the many guest house. The guest house there. I lived in there for some time. ISKCON Mayapur. And here we see back in 1959 where Srila Prabhupada took sannyas from Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj along with his godbrother Muni Maharaj. Muni Maharaj was 95 and he said, if he takes sannyas, I'm going to take sannyas. What? Why is what there? This picture is here because it's Prabhupada's mutt. So in all the mutts, including Prabhupada's Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya Mutt, Srila Gurudev's telling about some of the pastimes of that the personality who established the mutt. Like he's saying, Prabhupada was born in 1896 in Calcutta, and he was religious from his childhood, like that.
You're saying Prabhupada established that one?
Prabhupada established the Chaitanya Chandradoya Mandir, which is this. This is ISKCON.
Oh, okay.
ISKCON Mayapur. And Srila Gurudev visited there. I forget the year, but he was brought by Tamal Krishna Maharaj and the others who were seeing him at that time. And when he got to the stage, many devotees lifted him and then sat him on the stage. And then there's a very nice talk by Srila Bhakti Charu Maharaj, my godbrother. And he was glorifying Srila Bhakti Prakan Keshav Maharaj and Srila Gurudev. And then he called on Gurudev to speak. This is one of the very recent Gaudiya Rasamrita send-outs. So if you're on that list of getting the lectures, it was just a few days ago. This is the temple of Bhakti Saranga Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada's dear godbrother. And it's known as Gaur Nityananda Mandir. This is one I like almost the best for its beauty. This is the Chaitanya Gaudiya Mutt. We were there, right, Vasanti? Bhakti Dwight Madhav Goswami Maharaj's Mutt. He's the Diksha Guru of our Shiksha Guru Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. Yeah, we were there. Huh? We stayed there. And this is where I first met Srila Maharaj. Hey, you were there too. And as usual, Shivananda started glorifying me to Srila Maharaj, thinking that Maharaj would be impressed. Hi, Hare Krishna, welcome. Let's see, where am I? We're almost finished with class, and then we'll have, what's your name? Suzanne. Oh, you're Suzanne. Right, I met you.
Yes, we have.
That's right, they were glorifying you.
I was like that before. That's awfully nice. I've come to be a librarian.
She's going to stamp books today.
Oh, amazing.
Ah, thank you. Okay, librarian, right. So, yeah, we stayed there, and so then Shivananda, as per usual, was glorifying me, saying, and she edited Gurudev's books, and she traveled all around with him, and she did all these paintings in Prabhupada's books. And then Maharaj said, that's nothing. If she could do Krishna bhajan, that would be something.
But then you clarified later what you meant.
That's what he meant, yeah. That's exactly what he meant. It's a very nice, we have that darshan transcribed.
There's a high point in my life.
And this is one of my favorites as far as beauty goes. This is, and one of my favorite acharyas too. This is the Chaitanya Bhagavat Mutt, established by Srila Bhakti Vichar Yayavara Maharaj. And I'll just tell you one story that Vasanti likes too. And they didn't have any prasadam. They were all poor. And then, so Srila Yayavara Maharaj said, just chant Hare Krishna. Don't worry about anything. Just chant. And he locked the door. And he went up to his room. And the devotees were just chanting, right? Sankirtan. And all of a sudden there was a knock on the door, but it was locked. So he threw down the key. They opened the door, and it was a man on a rickshaw who had brought them a ton of rice. And they said, well, I guess we have to pay you for this, right? Pay you for the rickshaw or pay you for the rice? No, it's already taken care of, no problem. By who? Who knows? Maybe he was Krishna. And so then he just dropped it off, and that's when everything started becoming more opulent for them. This is Gopinath Gaudiya Mutt. That is Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj's mutt. Srila Gurudev would visit there. And also this is the photo of Srila Bhakti Vichar Jayavra Maharaj and also Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Maharaj, who was one of the co-founders of Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti, along with the main establisher, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, and our Prabhupada was one of the co-signers. So Gopinath Gaudiya Mutt was established by Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, and that's where Srila Bhakti began Parati Goswami Maharaj's samadhi is. It's really beautiful. And Vasanti and I had the fortune and the misfortune, because we got the message when we were in Alachua that he could leave at any moment. He's about to leave. And so we immediately hopped on a plane and went on our way to Navadvip. But as fate would have it, midway, the transfer plane was canceled. So we had to sit at the airport. I remember that day was horrible. Huh? We were just sitting there at the airport. Oh, Delhi. Oh, changed the ticket, right, to Navadvip. And that's when we had to, oh, God. Yeah. Right, yeah, just sitting at the airport. And meanwhile, he left. And we didn't get to be there when he left, but we got to be there at his sannyas ceremony. And we even got to stay there in the room where they were putting him in the samadhi. And then outside the room, there was a big screen where they would show what's happening inside the room.
You two were with him often for 7, almost 8 years, right?
Oh, she was. I was a Johnny-come-lately on it. Huh? 10, 15, my goodness. Yoga Pete? We did. Yeah, that was Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Goswami Maharaj. We did go there. We came, but we didn't go in yesterday. Everyone just stayed whatever the temple they wanted to, and then. Which one? Oh, that. Yeah, we didn't see his mother, and where is that? Oh, the last place before what? Last place, what? On the road of the temples. Right, and I don't see it here, that's the thing.
Is that the hot tar road? When we go to the town
So many hot tar roads.
Crazy.
No, we did, we just went there. Yeah, this is Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami's mutt. We were there with Maharaj, and Gurudev went there. Ki Jai. All right, so is the offering complete, transferred?
Yes.
All right. So we're going to stop here unless Haridas Prabhu has the, what? It's at the beginning? Oh, perfect. Well, actually, we went there. We went to the house. We took the remnants of the prasadam. That's right. He's saying if there's photos now, there's... Huh? Yeah, that's right. Right. Chaitrapal Shiva's there. Gopiswar Mahadev. And here is Sachi Devi's delivery room. Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra at the Yoga Peeth. And here is the Yoga Peeth where we all circumambulate the tree and put our head to the tree. Remember that? And this is the yeah, right, that's right. We didn't go to all these places in the yoga pit. So, I guess we'll go tonight. Right? And where are you all going to spend your day? Oh, under the name tree? Yeah, because we want to see Lord Nrsingadev, we want to see Gaur Gadadhar, we want to see Gaur Kund. What? All right, so we'll end here, take breakfast, spend the day in Mayapur, and then we'll meet again tonight at 6 o'clock. Okay. Gaur Premanandi. Is everybody enjoying the Parikrama? You're not getting too tired? Good. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Nitai Gauda Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gauda Hari Bol. Nitai Gauda Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Premanandi. Shri Navadvip Dham Parikrama ki jai. Navadvip Dham Mahatmya ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Shri Jiva Goswami ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. Vanchakopatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
I have one 10-second announcement. I'm leaving for prasad distribution at 4 o'clock. If devotees want to join and do Harinam, there's like at least 75 people there. So they're all in one area. It's very easy, and a lot of them say Hare Krishna. So
Wonderful. They're being cultivated. So that's a very nice thing to do. Is there another Harinam too?